I'm never racing again until I get a new hip. After 20,000 steps of pain in a row, like there's just this system overload, and there would just come these moments where I'd like essentially collapse and just need 2 minutes of laying there without pain.
And you just have to lie there for 10 seconds while you contemplate whether or not you should continue existing.
Yeah.
And then you come to the conclusion, yeah, let's keep living, and then you keep living.
We're not checking.
Like right now we're in third based on position coming into this TA. Even if we wanted to put Jason through another 40K or whatever,
It's not worth it.
it's not, like, there's no way for us to hold on to any kind of positional advantage. And fifth with no pain, fifth with like just countless hours of pain. It's just like there's
For everybody.
no justification.
On the beach?
Oh yeah.
The ironic thing is that's the best that I felt on my feet the whole race. Even though it was a beach run, it was like you knew what the footing was going to be like, and I could get into a pattern. So like we were able to run with east wind every step. Like we ran the entire 30 whatever K. A couple times I would hang onto the backpack when I started to lose it, but like we never had to stop. And my hip felt like everything felt sore, but it actually felt fine after that. And we felt fine after everything. Going into that second trek between checkpoint 6 and 7, hiking up that road at the beginning felt great. Even that night I felt great when we camped. And then we hit the next morning, we hit that first big turbo field. 200 meters into walking across the turbo, I could not function. Like my whole back and hip had seized up.
He was inchworming his way across the turbo.
Anytime there's any instability in the footing, like I can't cope. Because I just couldn't, and it was crazy. And so that's when everything just went downhill really fast. It became really desperate for a long time.
It was, yeah.
To the point where we like mentally quit right then and there several times.
Yeah.
Where we're just like, oh, this is over right now.
Why'd you keep
Pointless.
going?
Because we kept being in first. Unassailably in first.
We have this much lead. We should go for it. But as soon as it went downhill around turbo, it was just so slow.
You know, I've known this was coming for a long time, for years. You know, when I went to the doctor months ago and they saw my X-ray for the first time, my new X-ray, he was like, I can't believe that you can actually function in a day-to-day life. Getting to Punta Arenas, literally getting off the plane and walking around pre-race, I knew it was like we were in trouble. You just forget, you know, we've been here 4 times and you remember the good stuff, and it's hard to remember how difficult these treks are.
Some of the most pleasant parts of the treks in my memory are the parts that were the most difficult for you.
Yeah.
You have the best views, you have the best scenery, the best everything. Kind of fun if you're in the right mindset, where you're just kind of bounding in between these harder sections. But you're seeing all the things, you're hanging out in the open, you're not bushwhacking, and that was just like, you know, some of the hardest stuff for you.
That was the saddest thing for me. It's like one of my favorite places in the whole world, and then just seeing like him not having any fun in this gorgeous, gorgeous place with like beautiful mountain passes, and it's just like takes so much to just like look up and just like, this is beautiful, but my husband is like so in so much pain. It was really hard.
Yeah. Once we kind of had accepted, or once they you know, to their credit, accepted that, okay, they've got this teammate that has these kind of severe limitations, they carried my weights and you know, made sure I stayed fed. This is definitely the strongest team we've ever had for Patagonian. Alex was a machine. He just like threw my second pack on and forgot he had it, and he kept asking for more weight. The more painful my life got, the more he wanted to like, I would take that, give me that, I would take that, I want that too. And Dan's like, can I? He's like, no, mine. He's like got these 2 double packs, and like just charging ahead, and we're just like, what the hell? Who is this guy? I don't think we could have chose a better teammate or a better friend. I mean, this guy was, I don't know. I mean, just funny,
amazing,
funny and upbeat
optimistic
the whole time. He told me how good I was doing so many times, like, you know, like a 6-year-old that like is finally now. Oh, that's so good. You didn't fall down for 2 steps. You're doing so good. Like, yeah, it meant a lot. You know?
Yeah, he was amazing.
These two become food Nazis when they worry about running out of food. We can't eat anything because we're going to need to conserve, and we're in the tent in the shittiest conditions ever, and Alex is opening the food bags like, let's eat. There's no reason to be hungry now. We can be hungry later. And I'm like, oh, please, thank you. Let's eat.
You know, I guess we had to find, you know, a little hope into something. So yeah. I guess, you know, you find hope in the smallest thing, and you know, a pack of crackers sometimes give you a lot of hope.
My favorite comedic thing was because we were all freezing all the time for a lot of it, and he made, I don't know, it was the last night, everything's wet. We'd slept in puddles with no floor and no pads, and wake up and it's time to go. And he has this great idea. We're pulling the tent off and it's still raining, and he made pants or underwear out of his space blanket. So he had this huge project, and we're like, what? And he's standing there like pretty much naked, and the tent, we pull the tent off and the rain's coming down, and he makes this underwear out of his torn up space blanket, and he's like cut it up, and he trekked in it for the entire, he just took it off. He trekked in it all the way for like the last 24 hours. He had space blanket underwear. It was
Spaceman stiff.
Yeah, space blanket underwear is better than no underwear.
true.
Yeah.
2 nights ago, we were coming down this long hill, and Jason is just like so slow coming through the bushes. It's one of my favorite terrain pieces in Patagonia because it's like these bushes are in such a way that you can kind of like fling yourself forward downhill and kind of like slow yourself with your hands, so you can go down really fast. And so we're going down this hill and just, you know, making our way bit by bit, and we just see 4 headlamps just screaming down the hill above us. That was God's Zone. And at that point, we just like,
It was a sad moment.
as soon as they went away, we set up a tent and basically just like
So sad.
cried in the tent for a while.
It
just
also
was like,
meant that other teams were coming.
right.
And it meant that our time in front was done.
It was hard because I knew that a lot of this was, you know, my fault, like my body's fault, that we weren't able to race to the level we wanted to, that they weren't able to enjoy it. You know, Alex and Dan and Chelsea went through this experience that I hope nobody has to experience with their friends or their husband or their loved ones, but they stayed with me, you know, and we got out there. And for me, the only joy of the whole thing was that we couldn't quit. It's crazy. I just want to be able to enjoy walking again. To me, Patagonia is not beautiful wilderness. That's the thing. To me, Patagonia is like raw wilderness. Is truth.
Every time I would get frustrated or sad, I just like looked up and was like, well, I have more time here.
We are competitive adventure racers, competitive multi-sport athletes. You know, all of us in our own right, individually and as a team, Like, we all have some aspirations to be at the top of the world in our sport. Life is not beautiful, and like what we go through out there is not beautiful, but it's real,
and it's necessary,
and it's powerful, and you can't do it alone. I mean, my team, these 3 people with 6 good hips between them pulled me through this, and allowed me to go through this experience that was incredibly painful. But I honestly, what I'm gonna remember from this is the valley with the waterfalls coming down from every conceivable location. What I'm gonna remember is this crazy channel of overhanging turf with this huge river going like 30 feet below us that we have to step across, and and Dan's waiting on the other side because my poles are stuck across, and these leaps of faith in these incredible places that are dark and scary and rewarding. Racing just gets us there because it accelerates. It might take you a month or a 2-month expedition where you're stopping every night and sleeping and to get to those edges that Dan talked about. But racing just accelerates all that because we're basically pushing ourselves so hard that we're gonna get there.
We had a lot of fun. We held first for quite a while, and with limited resources. So being able to race at full speed, I think we have a legitimate chance of winning this.